Terence Crawford and Floyd Mayweather recently stepped into the ring for what was meant to be a routine sparring session. Crawford, deep in training for a possible showdown with Canelo-Alvarez, invited Mayweather to join him as a sparring partner. Mayweather, known for his flawless defense and legendary 50-0 record, didn't hesitate to put the gloves back on. What followed was an intense session that had everyone in the gym buzzing. Crawford's talent was undeniable, and in the opening moments, Mayweather relied on the same techniques that made him one of the sport's best: sharp footwork, precise head movement, and crisp counterpunches. At 47, his ability to read his opponent remained impressive. But Crawford wasn't there to just observe. As a four-division world champion with 31 knockouts and an undefeated 41-0 record, he had no plans to take it easy. Even against a legend, the session started cautiously, both fighters feeling each other out. Mayweather's experience showed as he made Crawford miss by inches, using small, calculated movements. But Crawford, always methodical, kept pressing forward. He switched stances, adjusted his rhythm, and searched for openings. With each round, it became clear this wasn't just another spar. Then came the moment that stunned everyone. In the middle of a heated exchange, Crawford spotted an opportunity and took it. He fired. Crawford didn't follow up. It was just sparring, after all. But the moment was significant. Mayweather quickly steadied himself and continued, acting as if nothing had happened. Still, those in attendance couldn't shake what they had just witnessed. A master of defense, someone who had built his career on avoiding these moments, had been caught cleanly for the first time in a long time. That Crawford's trainer, Brian "Bomac" McIntyre, later reflected on the session with pride. "That's what makes Terence special," he said. "He's got that edge, that hunger, even in sparring." Mayweather, always a professional, took the punch in stride. His prime may be behind him, but his deep understanding of the sport and ability to adjust in the ring remain unparalleled. For him, stepping into the ring with Crawford wasn't about proving anything. It was about staying connected to the game he dominated for so many years. Meanwhile, Crawford's performance added fuel to the ongoing comparisons between the two fighters. As a four-division champion, and one of only 3 men in the four-belt era to become undisputed in 2 weight classes, his name is being mentioned more and more alongside Mayweather's. Sparring with Floyd, even as he nears 50, was another way Crawford has always thrived on challenges, whether it's dismantling top opponents or testing himself in heavier weight classes. This sparring session only strengthened his confidence in his own abilities. Seeing him land a clean shot on a defensive mastermind like Mayweather, even for just a moment, was a testament to how much he has evolved as a fighter. Mayweather's legacy is already set in stone. At his peak, he was untouchable, beating elite fighters like Canelo-Alvarez and Manny Pacquiao with ease. While time may have slowed his reflexes, his influence on the sport and his status as one of the all-time greats remain unchallenged. For Crawford, sharing the ring with Mayweather was more than just a learning experience. It was a statement. He soaked in the wisdom of a master while showing the world that he too The session ended with a show of mutual respect. Mayweather's calm composure and willingness to step into the ring with Crawford spoke volumes about his confidence, even as he ages. On the other hand, Crawford walked away more motivated than ever, knowing the road ahead, especially with talks of a Canelo-Alvarez fight, would demand even more from him. Moments like this define careers. For Crawford, landing that right hook wasn't just about the punch. It was about sharing the ring with a legend and proving that he is right where he belongs. For Mayweather, it was about reminding the world that possible 2025 fight between Crawford and Canelo-Alvarez. Boxing fans haven't stopped talking. Although no official confirmation has been made, the idea alone has sent shockwaves through the sport. Crawford, fresh off a career-defining win against Errol Spence Jr., is at the peak of his powers. Meanwhile, Canelo remains boxing's biggest star, commanding global attention every time he steps into the ring. While this matchup remains purely hypothetical, it has already divided fans. One of the most vocal critics is YouTuber Showbiz the Adult. He wasted no time downplaying Crawford's chances, comparing him unfavorably to Floyd Mayweather, who dominated Canelo in 2013. Let's not forget what Floyd did to Canelo, Showbiz said. That wasn't just a win, it was a masterclass. Crawford doesn't have that kind of skill. According to Showbiz and others, Crawford simply isn't on Mayweather's level in terms of defense, ring IQ, or adaptability. But not everyone agrees. Some fans believe Showbiz is selling Crawford short, especially Yes, it was just sparring, and details remain mostly private, but insiders claim Crawford got the better of Mayweather. If true, it would be a massive accomplishment, considering Mayweather's defensive brilliance. If he can outthink and outmaneuver a fighter like Mayweather, then he might have the skills needed to give Canelo serious trouble. However, Showbiz wasn't convinced. He doubled down on his criticism, reminding everyone that sparring doesn't always translate to real fight situations. Look, sparring is controlled, he said. It's not 12 rounds in front of millions, with championships and legacies on the line. Just because Crawford had a strong showing in the gym doesn't mean he can handle. Many fans believe Crawford moving up in weight to fight Canelo is not just unrealistic, but also dangerous. Canelo has dominated the middleweight and super middleweight divisions, regularly facing and overpowering naturally bigger fighters. His strength at these higher weight classes is well documented, with many opponents unable to withstand his power. Meanwhile, Crawford has only recently moved up to junior middleweight and hasn't yet proven himself against the best in that division. Critics argue that adding extra weight could actually hurt Crawford, slowing him down and weakening his greatest weapons, his speed and precision. You can't just put on weight and expect your skills to stay the same. The concern is legitimate. Extra weight can impact a fighter's speed, stamina, and timing, making it an enormous risk for Crawford to take on someone as powerful as Canelo at super middleweight, but not everyone agrees. Hall of Fame believes Crawford's technical ability could actually help him neutralize Canelo's size advantage. Crawford is special, Atlas said on his podcast. His footwork, his ring IQ, his ability to switch stances in the middle of a fight. Canelo hasn't faced anyone like him in years. If Crawford stays disciplined, he can make things... Critics argue that Crawford has never fought someone with Canelo's level of experience and skill. While Crawford has been dominant, his biggest wins, including victories over Spence, Amir Khan, and Madrimov. Don't compare to Canelo's resume. Canelo has gone toe-to-toe with fighters like Gennady Golovkin, Sergey Kovalev, and Caleb Plant, opponents who push him to his limits in ways Crawford has never experienced. This difference in competition is a big reason why many analysts believe Canelo has the upper hand still. Others believe Crawford's adaptability inside the ring gives him an edge. Former two-division world champion Timothy Bradley, a longtime supporter of Crawford, thinks he has what it takes to expose Canelo's weaknesses. Canelo has slowed down, Bradley said. His footwork isn't as sharp as it used to be, and Crawford can take advantage of that. I'm telling you, if they fight, Crawford wins on points. Mark my words. Another factor is the business side of boxing. Canelo is under an exclusive deal with DAZN, while Crawford is a free agent, which gives him more flexibility. However, both fighters have been strategic about protecting their legacies, leaving some fans skeptical about whether this fight will actually happen. Talking about the fight is one thing. Signing the contract is another, said one boxing journalist. Both guys have a lot to lose, and that's what makes this fight so fascinating. Then there's the matter of public perception. If Canelo loses to Crawford, it could damage his reputation as one of the greatest of his era. On the other hand, if Crawford moves up in weight only to get dominated, critics will say he bit off more than he could chew. This high-stakes situation is exactly what makes this potential fight so intriguing. As the speculation continues, both Crawford and Canelo remain silent, neither confirming nor denying the rumors. Still, boxing fans can't help... Terence Crawford is confident he has the skills to pull off an upset against Canelo Alvarez. According to ESPN's Mike Coppinger, the two boxing stars are in the final stages of negotiating a fight on Mexican Independence Day weekend in Las Vegas. Crawford is set to jump 2 weight classes to face Canelo at super middleweight, and surprisingly, there will be no rehydration clause. Many expected some kind of weight limit to be placed on Canelo between the weigh-in and fight night, due to their size difference that Crawford's trainer, Brian Bomac McIntyre, insists they didn't ask for one. "We don't need it." He said that Crawford's confidence isn't misplaced. He's one of only 3 fighters, alongside Alexander Usyk and Naoya Inoue, to become undisputed champions in 2 different weight classes in the 4-belt era. With a perfect record in 41 fights, he has proven time and again that he can adjust to any opponent. We'll see on Fight Night what my advantages are. Crawford told Boxing Scene, "I like to study my opponents in real time and make adjustments. That's my greatest strength. I figure them out and take over." He knows he's the underdog, but that doesn't concern him. "People say I'm too small, that I don't belong in the ring with these guys. But that's when the greats rise to the occasion," he added. Canelo is the clear favorite, but many believe Crawford's intelligence and adaptability give him a real chance at an upset. Crawford has never backed down from a challenge. He's dominated fighters across multiple divisions, and his recent win over Errol Spence Jr. is still fresh in fans' minds. Now he's looking to take down one of the biggest names in the sport, but some fans believe Canelo's size will be too much for him. Canelo has fought as high as 175 pounds, and even though this fight is at 168 pounds, he will still be the much larger fighter. Crawford may struggle to get his shots off effectively against Canelo's power. Still, Crawford has always thrived in tough situations. He's rarely been the bigger man in the ring, yet he's continued to dominate with his ability to control distance, use his jab, and counterpunch effectively. The odds are against him, but if anyone can pull off the impossible, it's Crawford. His trainer, Bomac, believes that Crawford's fight IQ will be the deciding factor with the fight set for Mexican Independence Day weekend. The stakes couldn't be higher. A victory over Canelo would cement Crawford's place among the greatest boxers of all time. When Fight Night finally arrives, all eyes will be on Las Vegas. Will Crawford overcome the size disadvantage and dethrone Canelo at super middleweight? Or will Canelo prove once again that he's the dominant force in the division? No matter what happens, this is a fight that boxing fans will be talking about for years. And Terence Crawford is ready to prove that he belongs among the sport's all-time greats. What do you think about this matchup? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more boxing updates.